And thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Wickersham. Tonight, we're shining a light on the mental health of our children and teens and the impact of isolation during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the CDC reported in 2021, more than a third of high school students said they experienced poor mental health during the pandemic. Nearly half of students reported persistent sadness or hopelessness during that year. The American Academy of Pediatrics and several other associations have declared the state of child and adolescent mental health a national emergency. So tonight, we're going to talk about the heavy burdens that our children are dealing with. Suicide is the third leading cause of death among people aged 15 to 24 in the U.S. A family that I know lost their 19-year-old son to suicide last year. Tonight, they have a message for other parents and children about their son's struggle.
You know, he was really friendly, outgoing, had a lot of friends.
We always call him the gentle giant. 6'4", 195, academically strong, summa cum laude from Marvin Ridge, got to Chapel Hill.
Smart, handsome, a great hockey player, and loved by his family. On the outside, Matias Rosado had everything going for him. But on the inside, as he grew older, his parents, Raphael and Rachel, watched Matias start to withdraw.
There were two different Matiases, though. There was the Matias that we knew growing up to a certain point, and as he got older and the depression set in, it was a little bit different. Withdrawals, the panic attacks, the social anxiety, it escalated to self-harm with Matias. That was one of the symptoms late. Before his first attempt, he was cutting himself. And that's when we really started panicking, and that's when we started with medication, was when we saw the self-cutting, and that was roughly 5 or 6 months before his first suicide attempt.
Matias started therapy for social anxiety the fall of his junior year at Marvin Ridge High School in 2018. Weeks into his first year at UNC Chapel Hill in fall 2020, Matias and other students were sent home because of COVID, and his parents say that isolation from school and friends didn't help. He was diagnosed with clinical depression and started medications November 2020. The next year, though, Rachel and Raphael thought Matias was starting to get better. He had a girlfriend, and he was talking about re-enrolling at UNC, and they begged him to keep fighting.
Most parents don't ever have to say, just give us time. Please give us time. Just work with us and give us time. And he promised he would give us time.
And he did. He fought as long as he could. But on July 17th, 2021, Matias Rosado died by suicide. He was just 19. He left notes for his friends and for his parents.
He was in pain. He was really hurting, and he really didn't want to hurt us with his decision, and he wanted us to understand. And I thought that he tried to let us down in the most loving way.
Trying to create a positive change from their tragedy, the Rosados created the Matias Rosado Foundation. It's dedicated to youth mental health, connecting young people with resources and help, and supporting other groups that do the same. They're also pushing for change. They say the science needs to improve to help children who are struggling.
Scientists, doctors don't know how to treat this disease really yet. It's more like take a pill for 4 or 6 weeks, see how you feel. Yeah. Oh, that didn't work? Let's try another pill for 4 or 6 weeks, see how you feel.
And while they hope treatment and understanding of depression will improve, they have this advice for any children out there who may feel the same way their son did.
I think if the kids are watching, I would say reach out and just say you need help to friends or parents, or just give people a chance to help you.
Now, the Rosados encourage parents to have those hard conversations with your kids. Don't be afraid to say the word suicide and know the warning signs, like sharing thoughts of suicide, statements about wanting to die, to be dead, or self-harm. Strong feelings that they may never get better, withdrawal from everyone and everything, or being unusually angry. It's important to know that there is help. Here are a few suggestions. Ask them if they're okay, and then just really listen. Tell them you're worried and concerned that they're not alone. and get other people involved, like a counselor. Now, the Rosados told me they found a shortage of psychiatrists available when Matthias had an emergency situation. After calling and calling, nobody could see him within 48 hours. So now they're talking with the Steve Smith Family Foundation about supporting their behavioral health urgent care center in East Charlotte, and that should be open early next year. We have a link as well to the Matthias Rosado Foundation on our website.